Imagine someone walks into your room. They start insulting you, belittling you, saying things that cut deep into your soul and make you want to respond. But what? Do you smile with a calm smile? You don't answer, you don't react, not out of indifference, but because you choose to control your emotions. And in this case, you decide to control your anger and choose a smile instead of a shout. This ideal scene, perfect for anyone, may seem impossible for many people, maybe for you too. In this video, I want to show you how you can do it in a very simple way. Very simple, it takes work, but it's very simple in a certain way. You can master your emotions. You must realize that you often can't control the event before you. You have a scene in your life that you weren't the scriptwriter of, but how do you react to that scene? God, the Creator, gives you free will. You really have the possibility to choose what to do, what to think, or what to say. And this is what I'm going to teach you. If God wills, may it be with much blessing and success. As they say in Hebrew, Beraha Beatzaraja. I'm going to tell you a story I once heard. It's amazing. A student told his rabbi a story really about a challenge he had. He didn't want to get angry. He wanted to work on his emotions, not get angry. If someone, as in the case I mentioned, treated him badly, spoke badly to him, or had a negative attitude, the student said, "Rabbi, what can I do?" The rabbi said, "Can you give me 5 minutes?" "How, Rabbi?" "Of course, whatever you need." He left the office, spoke with another student whom this student didn't know, and said to him, "Look, in 2 minutes, go into the office, you'll see someone talking to me," and start yelling at him. And treat him badly. Don't worry, he won't get offended with you. You'll find out why later, but don't feel bad. What you're going to do is right. It's like a play where all the characters agree. I'll talk to him. Don't worry, don't worry. In Judaism, there is clearly a prohibition against mistreating, speaking badly to, or even thinking badly of someone. Obviously, if the rabbi says that to his student, obviously the rabbi has to explain it to his student, that this is like a play in which we all agree on what role each one has. In other words, everything was allowed. Obviously, the rabbi wasn't going to ask for anything that was forbidden, of course, so the student said, "Of course, Rabbi, if you tell me that and the person who is with you, do they agree?" I, like in a play, I'm going to go with the flow. In fact, I really like theater very much. The rabbi went into his office and told his student, the one he had told about that challenge, for not getting angry and working on his anger and qualities. He said, look. I left my office. As you know, I spoke with a student you don't know. I told him the following: let him come in, and you will understand why this is not a surprise. Obviously, let him come in and he's going to start talking badly to you, maybe even yelling as if it were a play. I told him that you knew about it and that you were going to be there. You agree? Very well. You agree for sure. The rabbi went out, told him, confirmed 100% my student agrees, so you can come in. And as if you were an actor, go with the flow and speak to him in an unpleasant way. Very well. Excellent. And when he entered the office, he said, "Well, are you ready for the scene we prepared?" He'll come in and yell at you. How will you respond? I'm asking, how will you respond? And the student said, obviously I'm going to listen to what he tells me, and I'm not going to say anything. Obviously I'm not going to yell at him or anything. Why is it a play? And I decide to be okay, in fact, maybe even smile. Oh, very good what you say, very good. Do you agree? Do you agree that you're going to be like that? Perfect, action. So the rabbi opened the door and said to him, "Can you come in?" The student, like an excellent actor, the student who came from outside, started saying words to him. No, nothing pleasant. Obviously they didn't know each other, he said. You acted like it was a play, doing this and that, though they didn't know each other. As I said before, you acted like it was a play, doing this and that, so how could you speak to me like that yesterday? And how did you talk to my friend, my best friend, and call him on the phone and yell at him? And how did you do this and how did you do that? And the student who was sitting, who wanted to work, his anger was subdued, as if he were an actor in a play with a kind of smile, as if asking for forgiveness. And when the shouting ended, the actor who was shouting, the student said, "Look, I'm sorry," as if he were also an excellent actor. He said, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I had a bad day, forgive me. At work they spoke badly to me and that made me very sensitive. And it's true that I called your best friend because he had said something that bothered me, but I really didn't speak properly. I'm asking you for forgiveness, and could you ask your best friend for forgiveness? I feel a little embarrassed if you apologize on my behalf." Well, I hope tomorrow will be a new day or that things get better. And basically, I apologize with a slight smile. Then he said, "Can I give you a hug so our friendship gets better?" And they hugged. And really, it was like a scene from an excellent movie. Like the two best friends who truly reunited in their friendship, they hugged and shook hands. And with a big smile, scene cut. The rabbi ended that scene as if it were a psychodrama, as if it were one. In fact, let me tell you that if you don't know, there is like a kind of branch of psychology. It's called, at least in Israel, Psychodrama, which is basically like theater scenes that in a group you can use to work on different topics. It can be anger, it can be all kinds of qualities, and it's called psychodrama. That is through drama at the level of drama. It's like in English, drama is theater through a scene. That in some way, the professional in this field, which is actually a career you can study, is like a kind, as I told you, like a kind of branch of psychology. The person in charge of the workshop basically tells the members what kind of scenes to do based on stories that this person... The workshop leader listens and helps each person based on their struggles. Basically, it's about helping others overcome personal issues through theater. So, in this case, the rabbi, with great intelligence, obviously, and also great wisdom, as well as a high level of emotional intelligence. In a way, he did a psychodrama with this student who came to him with a problem. He wanted to improve himself, particularly his anger issues, so this is impressive. Therefore, now I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what lies behind all of this, on a much deeper level, but in a simple way. What happened, what the student went through in a certain way. When the rabbi asked him, "And what are you going to do? When he comes to yell at you," he said he'll just stay quiet and maybe smile. Why? Well, it's a play. Why would I yell? Why would I get angry? Why should I get angry? It's a play. It doesn't make any sense otherwise. I want to come out of this looking good, and well, that's fine. After the scene ended, the rabbi told Kat it was over. The student thanked him a lot, and they thanked each other, especially the student who came to present the problem. He thanked him a lot for being the actor who shouted at him and helped him a lot to work on his qualities right there in that scene. In itself, he already helped him, obviously, just as I imagine, he already helped him a lot with this quality of not getting angry. He thanked him a lot. They shook hands. Obviously, there was a lot of gratitude between them. The student left, and obviously the rabbi and the first student stayed talking. Then the rabbi said to him, based on this conversation, which I imagine since I wasn't there, it's something I read or heard a long time ago, but I think it can really inspire us a lot on this topic. When the rabbi told him, "I'd also like your opinion, so feel free to comment here. Why didn't you get angry? When you came to ask me about the topic of anger, you told me that you had a difficult situation and you got angry and yelled at someone very well. What's the difference between today and yesterday? Or when you had that scene where you spoke badly to someone, what was the difference?" Someone said it was clearly just a play, a simulation. Very good, very good. Now we're going to talk to see with eyes of Emunah, in Hebrews of Emunah or faith. We need to understand. And now we're going to leave the story of the rabbi and the student aside for a bit. I'm going to ask you to relate that story to what I'm about to tell you for your own good. If you understand it, it can change your life. Honestly, how much anger, how much suffering you can take out of your life in a very simple way. We have to understand that Kabbalah, the wisdom, Jewish mysticism, teaches us how to see the world correctly, We must first realize we live in a beautiful world and creation, and naturally, if there's a beautiful creation, there must be a creator. God, the creator who loves us so much, who trusts us so much, and expects the best from us. This topic could be discussed at length, but let's keep it simple. I'm going to try to explain some very deep topics to you, basically right here. We are souls clothed in a body with a journey. Our soul comes on a great journey. We have probably been in previous lives in other bodies. It is said in Hebrew that our souls have traveled through this humanity in different eras, surely. But we don't know that in the sense that we don't know our soul's history, but maybe we do know that we know our story of today and today. Today you have a choice. That is to say, your soul has a history, you don't know that, but maybe you do know the story of your soul. Today your soul is clothed in your body. You were born into your family. Do you still have your childhood friends? Today you can choose anything, but who are your mom and dad? You can't choose that. Who your brothers or sisters are, you can't choose that. You can't choose which country you were born in, obviously you can't choose that. But today, if you are an adult, in some way, basically you can choose your relationships. How, above all, how to connect with others. If you can choose, as we said, would you rather get angry, God forbid, or smile and judge the other person favorably? You can choose that. You can choose to work at the job you work at, or you can choose if it's not the right job for you. If you finish that job and work somewhere else, in a normal situation where there is demand for labor, you have skills, you can really get another job. I mean, you can work hypothetically, both hypothetically and practically as well. But in a normal country, with normal labor demand, if you have good skills, you could get one. If your job isn't right for you, for example, it's harmful, toxic, people speak badly, your boss treats you badly. That is, if you have a very negative situation, let's say obviously very negative, that's a sign that it's not the place for you. Obviously you have to eat, but if you basically have the option to get another job that's right for you, it might be less money, but if the work environment is a good one and the money is enough to support yourself, that's perfect. It's a sign that you have to go somewhere else. Obviously everything, each one I leave to you, obviously your reasoning and your dialogue with God to ask Him for guidance depending on your situation. I'm speaking in very general terms, but basically we really have the free will that God, the Creator, gives us at every moment. Choose life. Therefore, this example of not getting angry in a certain sense is an example for all areas of life, in which God, the Creator, as I told you a moment ago, places our souls in bodies, clothed in bodies with very particular stories. Just as your fingerprint is unique, there has never been and will never be another like it. You have a unique mission in history. It's not just a great mission. That great mission branches out into small missions. Like the cells in your body, each cell is essential, but you have a great body like that. Every second of your life, every moment of your life, you can do good. Alternatively, offering good advice, providing financial help, or simply listening to someone who wants to share a problem. Providing water, helping at home, cooking, washing dishes, mopping, assisting with moves, and helping neighbors. In other words, your options in the moment are endless. You can think of your life as a kind of factory for doing good. What do you do for a living? I have a factory. I didn't know you were a manufacturer. Yes, I manufacture good by thinking well of others, speaking kindly, encouraging, and motivating them. I use my hands and feet to do good, go to good places, and help others. That is, you could say that you are dedicated to manufacturing good, even if you don't have a tangible factory, you can still say that you are dedicated to doing good. So discussing anger is, as I said, a great example for many areas of life. When the Creator introduces challenging situations into our lives, such as dealing with anger, for example, someone at work or in your studies speaks to you harshly, treats you poorly, or says something unfair. Even there, in some way, you are facing a challenge. Your animal instinct tells you to respond, and especially if it seems unfair to you, how can he talk to you like that? How can he belittle you like that? It can't be. Respond this way or that way. Silence this person. They're unfair, evil, and cruel. How can they speak to me like that? That's the animal part. But you have a divine soul. Your divine soul tells you don't get angry, don't get angry. Think, judge favorably. Maybe this person comes from a place much, much, much more challenging than what you're experiencing now. Maybe if you were in this person's place after what this person went through, who knows how you would talk to yourself and to others if you were that person. Therefore, here your divine soul starts to starts to create positive thoughts about the other person, or to work, as they say in Hebrew, the Ein Tova, the good eye, assume the best and give the benefit of the doubt. That's your divine soul. Your divine soul starts to create good ideas for you to see the good in others. Therefore, in that great challenge where your blood obviously boils, the animal soul urges you to respond one way, while your divine soul quietly warns you of something else. It's not worth it to speak like that. You are a divine soul. You can do good. God gives you your free will. Smile at him, offer help, but if he seems very angry, it's best to stay quiet. And basically, endure the yelling and don't say anything, like a kind of sponge that absorbs, but don't say anything and judge favorably. Obviously, it all depends on the situation, but maybe after a few moments, maybe this person who's yelling at you starts to cry. For example, you can give them a few minutes, approach them if you feel it's the right moment and say, "Can I help you? I'm sorry. If it's something bad, I don't know." That is, try to do the opposite of what your animal instinct tells you, which is to respond badly. You can do something that not even the angels can achieve, which is to use your free will for good. It's impressive, say our sages, that someone who really is in some way ashamed or someone yelled at or belittled, really? The person might respond badly. I mean, the one who believes you is kind of bad like that, but what does the person do? They stay quiet and don't say anything. Our sages explain that on a spiritual level, this person receives spiritual treasures, a hidden spiritual light that even the angels cannot perceive. That light, when we talk about light, it means blessing. Obviously, light is a way to understand something very good, very excellent, very divine, amazing spiritual gifts that the Creator gives, which even the angels cannot perceive. So, in some way, everything I'm telling you about anger is just an example. You can apply it to other areas of your life if you realize that God, the Creator, puts situations in your life. Like the example of the Rabbi told them both, now it's as if you have a theatrical scene. You have this role. How do you react? How do you really speak as a theater director? Therefore, the actors obviously won't react from their animal soul, obviously, because they know they're in a play, right? So, if we understand that our soul is differentiating itself infinitely, but it's in a way in scenes, that our soul has to live in this life, the journey of our soul has to be lived. And the Creator, with His infinite kindness, His infinite love, He presents us with scenes, so that we, through our divine soul, react not like animals, not like an animal soul, but like a divine soul. Let us react well. Let us bring and contribute light to the world. In this way, we reach spiritual levels that even the angels do not reach in some way. We are partners in creation with God, a great secret many don't know. God, the Creator, wants us as partners in His creation. In Hebrew, it's called Tikkun Olam. It is the correction of this world. We came to correct the world that God a priori from the beginning made imperfect. God, the Creator, is perfect, but He made an imperfect world. For what purpose? So that you and I and all of us can correct His world together with society, with the Creator. It's an incredible privilege to partner with the Creator in His creation. To do only good, to speak good and think good, to give the benefit of the doubt, to judge in order to help others, to have a good eye. We always give them the merit. So, well, if you like my content and you still haven't joined my beloved Israel High community, this is the moment. I am part of it. I have the merit of having a beautiful community called Israel High, which means Israel Lives, a spectacular community. Those who acquire the membership first get a connection with me. You have my personal community WhatsApp. You can ask me questions. We have a weekly community schedule. There are courses that obviously someone from outside has to pay money for those courses from various experts. And here, if you're a member, you have free access to the courses. And really, God willing, you're going to get a community hug. A lot of people would love to be connected with Israel or to connect with me, to ask me questions, and they're somewhere in the world. She feels alone, he does too, and they both want to join a larger community with Torah and a connection to Israel. Spectacular. Here you have the opportunity. Right here in the video description, you have a link. You can request information there. And my community WhatsApp number is also there. You can also ask questions there. I hope everything goes well with many blessings and much success.